What's up, everybody? This is Nick from Dude That's Sick. I'm here in Claremont, New York at my aunt and uncle's Christmas tree farm called Stony Hill Acres. I thought it would be cool to show you guys how to do maple syrup start from finish. So we're going to do a maple syrup series, 3 episodes, baby. Episode 1, as you can see, we are tapping the trees line and old school style with buckets. Second episode is collecting and boiling. Third episode, we're gonna bottle it up and try it out. Enjoy! The first step of maple syrup is finding maple trees and tapping them. I'm here with my Uncle Joe and we're gonna tap into the tree.
We have to look around and make sure there isn't any other tap holes right close to where we're going to put this tap in. You don't want to get close to the other tap hole. So there isn't any right here, so this will reach. So we're going to drill into the tree 1.5 inches on a little bit of an angle. In and out. Then we're going to get a little twig and clean the hole out. Make sure there's no wood shavings in there. You don't want the wood shavings leaking out with the sap and going down and plugging the line somewhere. They have a tendency to get caught in these fittings and plug them up, and then the sap won't flow down the line. This line runs down over the hill into a big tote. There, that looks clean.
Now we're
going to tap this in carefully. Until you feel it bottom out. There. That's good.
This tap connects to a what would you call this line here? Is there like
just a lateral line?
Lateral line.
Yep.
And you have 2 of those, correct?
Yeah, I don't have a main line. I just run 2 3/16 lateral lines, and they run 700-800 feet through the woods down over the hill. And then we use the drop in elevation for gravity to create vacuum. So the lines run, you want your line to be level or slightly running downhill the whole way.
Here we go, another round of tapping.
We'll put one over here on the more north side of the tree. Well, here, Nick, you can hold the hammer.
Now you said in and out one motion because you don't...
Yeah, if you go like this and run it in and out, you can oblong the hole and then it'll leak. You'll lose vacuum and you don't want that.
Nope.
Well, let me see the drill. I want to show that bit you're using. It's a special...
And then I put a piece of tubing on there so that I won't go any farther. That's 1.5 inches from here to here. That way I just run it in until I hit this piece of tubing and I know I'm in 1.5 inches.
Yep.
Hammer?
Hammer.
Hammer time, Nick.
It's hammer time! And she's in.
Oh.
This looks like there used to be a hole right here. I'm not sure if that was or not, but so we just want to move. We'll move over here. I don't see any signs of any hole up here. We'll come up here. That'll reach. You can also come around the other way too.
Why are you putting 2 taps in?
Well, this tree is big enough to put 2 taps in. So if the tree is like 10 to 16 inches, you put 1 tap in usually, and bigger than that you put in 2. So this one's kind of right at the border line, like that other one there, so I put 2 in it.
What is the max of tapping the tree?
You mean the max number of taps you can put in a tree?
Yes.
They tell you not to put more than 3 in there on like a really big tree, but most people now are just going with 2 maximum.
2! Nice!
Hammer.
Hammer! How many taps are on this line?
Well, on this line here, I believe there is 27.
Holy smokes, 27. Good
You have
grief.
so you have two lines.
Yeah, you don't want to put too many taps on there on one line. It makes it harder to keep track if you have leaks and stuff. So it's easier to kind of keep an eye on the line better if you just keep it around 20 to 30 taps.
And the other way would be just with a bucket, right? The old school method of just a bucket.
Those two across the driveway.
Oh, cool! So we'll be able to see
I'm
that.
going to put some buckets over there with some drop lines into them. You don't get quite as much sap that way. You get a little bit more out of the tree doing it this way because of the vacuum.
Yeah.
The vacuum isn't necessarily sucking the sap out of the tree. What it does is it helps move the sap along the line. So you get a little bit faster flow.
Cool. So we'll be able to see both methods.
Yeah.
We're going old school on one method and we're doing the regular method on the other side.
Now, supposedly, from what I've heard from the experts, the higher you go up the tree, the higher the sugar content is. There won't be much of a difference in the amount of sap that you get, but a little bit higher up the tree, the sugar content is usually a little bit higher.
So, what's that gauge for?
Well, it gauges how much work you've done, Nick, helping me. See, it's on 0. Actually, it's a vacuum gauge. And once this line gets full of sap, then the weight of the sap being pulled down over the hill will create vacuum. And then this can go all the way up. The highest it can go is 28. But on natural vacuum, with the drop that I have of about 30 feet, I usually get, 15 to 25, somewhere in there. So, and when you have higher vacuum, your sap's flowing faster.
Gotcha. Is there a certain way to pick out a maple tree?
Well, the best time to do it's in the summer, when you can see the leaves. So you can tell it's a maple tree. Most people prefer to tap sugar maples, and their leaves are different. They have smooth edges, and then there's, I think, 5 points at the top. And you can get sap from any maple tree, but the sugar maples have a little bit more sugar content in them, so most people prefer to use those. But I also tap, red maple and silver maple. Some of those are pretty good too. But you can tell the difference between the red and the silver maple and the sugar maple, not only just by the leaves, but on the buds. If you look at those buds up there, on the sugar maple, the bud is kind of brownish color and it just comes to a point. But on like the silver and the red maple, if you look up in the trees, like that one right there, there's round, fuzzy buds on them. So the buds are a little bit different. This is where I tied them with it's like a Chinese finger trap. This is a hollow braid nylon rope. And what you do is you open it up like this and separate the strands, and you take the end of the line and cut it to a point, and then you poke it through there and you feed it through the center of the rope, 2-3 inches or so, and then you poke it out through the side, and then you slide it up the line and then pull the rope and tighten it, and it acts like a Chinese finger trap where it tightens up, so these lines are nice and tight and tied right off to this tree. And then the excess runs over here into this tote, and I took the cap off and put screen over it to keep bugs and stuff out of there, and run the tubing through the screen, and then I cover it with this to keep the rain out. So I got the same setup here. We're tying this tubing on.
There we go. We got a bucket with holes in it now. You see here, we're putting lines in the bucket so we can tap it into the tree so the sap can come out of into the lines from the tree into the buckets.
So some people don't even use the lines, right? They just use a tap that, then they hang the bucket off of it.
Yep. Or they also make sap bags. They have a metal frame. You've seen people do that. I've done that before too, but they're a problem if it gets windy out and there's not a lot of sap in the bag, then they end up getting blown away. And you get more bugs and stuff in your sap of those.
Yeah.
I see it coming out.
Yes, she's blinking.
Oh yeah.
She's a dripping.
Check this one out.
Oh yeah. Wow. She's full.
That was running like a faucet.
Macaroni.
Go ahead, put it on, bud.
She's chugging.
Put it on while
I hope you liked the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if this video helped you out, let me know down in the comments below. Stay tuned for the next episode where we collect and boil the maple syrup. This is Nick from Dude That's Sick. Later, y'all.